What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Jericho Report Weekly News Briefing. It is Sunday, the 5th of March, 2023. It's been yet another week of madness, and please excuse my swollen lips. They're severely chapped. I know it looks like I'm wearing lipstick, but I'm not. That's chapstick. I don't know. I wasn't going to do a report, but it can't stop me from doing the news. As always, first link below will take you to the Patreon post. That's where you can find all the madness. We got this now. China reports human case of H5N1 bird flu. Be advised. Bird flu also on the chicken farm. Argentina suspends exports because the chickens are coming down with the bird flu. Lab leak, most likely origin of COVID-19. Oh, that's got to be a conspiracy theory, really? No, the FBI chief said it as well. China lab leak, most likely. Hey, YouTube, how about all those people you censored in the beginning of all this that we're talking about, China labs and all this stuff? You didn't want us talking about that. Well, now it's mainstream news, so did we get an apology? I don't know. We got, let's talk about suddenly dead. Beautiful daughter, 20, collapses and dies suddenly. A heartbroken father. People just dropping dead this week for no reason. Family reveal how 28-year-old Walking Dead actor died. By the way, Tom Sizemore passed away. Rest in peace. I always liked Tom. That video's over my favorites. Death of former swimmer in the U.S. Virgin Islands under police investigation. 42-year-old, highly in shape people just dropping out. Maybe it's the sweetener. Zero-calorie sweetener now linked to heart attack and stroke. We've always known that artificial sweetener is no good for you, right? Just throw this on the pile. The sun, the moon, the stars, the quasars, the water, the air, everything's going to give you a heart attack. Throw that on top of it. Tainted blood, 80% of the blood supply contaminated by proteins from the jabs. Blood banks accidentally admit that from Natural News. Cardiac testing at Washington Public Event found 53% myocarditis rate, including 2 active duty U.S. military pilots. What does it mean? That from Global Research. And Joe Biden news this week, I got a couple clips. He's talking about his nurse doing things to him.
I have a nurse named Pearl Nelson, military. She'd come in and do things that I don't think you learn in medical school, nursing school.
And then he also says this.
And by the way, I'm not, I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid.
Such a pillowcase. Shout out to Heathers. Over to financial news. How major U.S. stock indexes fared on the Friday. 3-3. Looks like the Dow Jones rose 387. For the week, the Dow was up 574. Yay for the Dow. The S&P was up 75. I'll put a link to the market recap data. Now that the pandemic has vanished, aid has vanished, bankruptcies on the rise. Indeed, there's a lot of evictions going on in St. Louis right now. Pandemic-era food stamps end March 1st for nearly 30 million Americans. We're really going to struggle. Put a link to that. We'll see what happens. Bill would give Oregon homeless people, low-income earners, $1,000 a month. So if you're in Oregon, you might want to look into that. Amazon sued for selling products containing donkey meat. I guess donkey meat is cheaper. Tomato-free pizza in the UK menus as chefs choke on the price of fruits and vegetables. That from The Guardian. Russia proposes alternative meat made out of fly larvae as country deals with sanctions. Put a link to that. Seattle School District laying off employees due to plummeting student enrollment. Well, good. More people are homeschooling because of all the bullcrap that's being taught in schools these days. Right on. Discover to begin tracking purchases of gun retailers starting in April. Be advised, Discover is going to be, just use a Visa, MasterCard, or better yet, use cash. Put a link to that. New York City plans to dole out, listen to this, $21,500 to each 2020 Black Lives Matter protesters. $21,000 each to Black Lives Matter protesters. Where's this money coming from? Woman goes viral for buying 1998 Ford Escort for $289 a month for the next 84 months. And I got one to follow that up with in case she doesn't make her payments. Check it out. Ford seeks patent for cars to ditch you if payments missed. Okay, picture this. Ford self-driving car. You don't make your payment, the car backs itself out of a driveway and drives away. Or maybe it drives through your garage door. I don't know. The car is going to basically repossess itself. It is an interesting idea. I wonder if it's going to beep as it drives away. Beep, beep. Sorry about your luck. Over to New World and Police State News, where I stop and ask you, please share the report. There's a lot of important stuff coming up. 20-minute neighborhoods. They are really hyping this the past couple of weeks, aren't they? The 20-minute neighborhood. This is our vision, our goal for the New World Order. I'll put a link to this. People are speaking out on Twitter. 10 minutes to somewhere, 10 minutes back. The government is expecting you to bow down to this hell on earth. This is sick and twisted, beyond words. And Alex Jones told us this with the documentary Endgame, 15, 20 years ago. Remember he said that you were only going to be able to travel in the authorized zones and all this, and super highways connect the mega cities and keep you from entering into unauthorized zones. It's coming to reality, people. You're not going to be able to fight back. Gun owners of large gun magazines in Columbus, Ohio have until July 1st to sell or move them. Just the latest of the gun crap going on. GOP rams through TikTok ban bill over dim objections. They're trying to ban TikTok. Put a link to that. What say you? Order Tucker Carlson to stop. Oh, Tucker Carlson, you're just speaking too much on Fox News. They want him silenced. Well, you may be a fan of Tucker, and I don't want to step on any toes here, but he's never going to come out and tell you about the New World Order. You know, it's just controlled opposition, in my opinion, and this is all just static. Put a link to it, though. Florida bill would require bloggers who write about the governor to register with the state. In Florida? Seriously, DeSantis? Hate speech laws. Let me just play a little bit of this for you. Who says what is hate speech?
But when it veers into conduct, and so the way we're going to approach this is through a hate crime kicker. So if you graffiti a building, it is a crime now. But if your motivation is hate, it will be a third-degree felony. You will spend 5 years in prison.
How do you litter hatefully?
If you want to litter, it's a crime right now. But if you litter and if your motivation is a hate crime, it will be a third-degree felony. You will spend 5 years in jail. It is a crime right now to hang banners from an interstate. For obvious reasons, we don't want to distract drivers. But if you do that and you have a hate crime...
So if we deem what you're doing is a hate crime, you get 5 years in jail. That's what's happening in Florida. Trump supporters barred by DeSantis staff, governor's book appearance in Florida. What is going on with DeSantis? You're going against everything that you've been about. I'll put a link to it. Lawsuit alleges New York teachers forced fifth grader to become transgender, causing suicidal thoughts in the agenda bin. Listen to what this 11-year-old boy found in his local school library.
I don't know if it's because we're feeling especially emotional or just tired, or these past couple of weeks have been too much. But this reminds me so much of the first time we had sex. We were both fucking terrified, and the whole thing was kind of terrible.
Shout out to the kid for speaking out. He knows something ain't right. Let's see. Someone got misgendered in a room and all hell broke loose. Oh, no. Look what it's doing. Look at this. Just look at this. I kill you if you disagree. And United Airlines blasted for hyping all LGBTQ in Pride partnership. Yes, because I don't know about you, but the sexual orientation of the people flying my plane is of utmost importance. Over to World War III news. U.S. preparing false flag chemical attacks in Ukraine, says Moscow. I wouldn't doubt it. That from RT. We'll see what happens. Ukraine committed terror attack on Russian civilians. Putin claims. That from J-Post. I got another one. Cross-border terror attack on Russia involved dozens of armed saboteurs attacking villages. But a link to that. The Sun reports UFO panic. UFO shuts down Russian airspace as jet fighters scrambled. Millions told to rush to the nuke shelters and TV hack. Somebody hacked the TV. U.S. sends $400 million in military equipment. This is a brand new article. This is on top of all the other stuff. Now, what's another $400 million? Come on, that from the DOD. Putin paying Palestinians in Lebanon refugee camps to fight in Ukraine, says report. That from J-Post. We got CIA chief says China has some doubt on ability to invade Taiwan. China accuses U.S. of endangering peace after military plane flies over the Taiwan Strait. Put a link to that. China will target U.S. homeland in war over Taiwan. Army leader predicts. That from the Washington Examiner. Let's see. Israel and Iran. Iran enriched uranium particles up to 83.7% purity, 0.3% away from having nuclear weapons grade. Didn't Netanyahu say the same thing over 10 years ago when he drew us that nice bomb? You know, I'm sure that video's that. So 10 years later, they almost have the bomb. I'll put a link to this. I got a couple more here. 6 leaders fired from Air Force nuclear base in North Dakota. What's going on there? From Air Force Times. And we got 150 arrested and thousands of pounds of drugs seized in massive cartel bust. I believe this is down in Arizona. No, not really World War III related, but if the cartel decides to retaliate, it could be pretty interesting. Over to Earth changes in 2012 news. I got the earthquake set up for 6 points and above for the past week. We had a 6.2 on March 4th, a 6.5 on the 2nd, a 6.5 on the 1st. The Earth's rock and roll. I'll put a link to the earthquake data. Didn't see too much on volcanoes. We got an update on the blizzard warning out in California. Let's see, staggering snowfall in California mountains leaves residents trapped for days. If you scroll down here, look at some of the craziness that happened out in California. Well, they do need the water, but holy crap, man. I'll put a link to it. California, wow. Oh, down in the south, Oklahoma, Norman, this is going on. We got the tornadoes ripping up the south. Oklahoma, Texas, Mississippi, all over. They had tornadoes this week. I'll put a link to this short video here. Train carrying propane derails in Matinee County. I believe this is in Florida. Another train derailment. That's nothing compared to what happened over a Greece train crash. 40 people dead after smashed like earthquake. Carriages left burning. A passenger train went head-on into a freight train. In the year 2023, how in the hell does that happen? I'll put a link to it. Let's see, back in America, Ohio Department of Natural Resources estimates 44,000 animals have been killed by East Palestine train derailment. I'll put a link to that. 44,000 animals. Transport of East Palestine soil and water to other states prompts backlash. They're shipping this crap all over the U.S. I'll put a link to it. Biden can't recall if he met with the mayor. Well, no, how could you recall? You're too busy jerking off over in the Ukraine, aren't you? Put a link to that. Terrifying footage, coal mine collapses in China. Now, for perspective, these are like dump trucks, I think, down here, you know, just to get a good view of, I mean, look at that. I mean, the earth has moved, and it just buried people alive. I'll put a link to the video. That's crazy, man. 5 die in Southwest China mine. 47 more trapped, probably dead under the rubble. Crazy. Orcas orcas feast on livers of 17 sharks. I believe this is off South Africa. The orcas are eating the sharks in South Africa. Put a link to that. And I got one more. Woman claims she saw a UFO being chased by fighter jets near the Denver airport. Over to strange and bizarre news. Got some disturbing news this week. Man casually shoots homeless guy in broad daylight so others watch and do nothing. This actually did happen. This happened right downtown in my city of St. Louis. Check this out. These guys loading up his gun. The guy's sitting there on the curb. And he just...
Oh my God! He just fucking killed him.
Yeah, that actually happened. The guy's in custody. Man set himself on fire on UC Berkeley campus. An alarming video. I guess somebody set themselves on fire. That shit is fire. People are trying to put him out, throwing bikes and jackets at him. They want him to get on the ground. He's like, I ain't having it. I set myself on fire. High school staff member fights a teenage student in Joe Biden's America. I don't know if that's actually a staff member, but he is definitely fighting whoever that is. Put a link to that. Racist University of Kentucky student 22 indicted on 6 charges after calling black schoolmate the N-word 200 times. She did too. If you scroll down, she's just acting all kinds of crazy and nuts, and now she's ashamed. She should be ashamed. You should watch the video. It's terrible. New Jersey man attempted to board plane with handguns, AR-15. Of course he had an AR-15, a taser, and a fake U.S. Marshal's badge. I'll put it. That's nothing though. This guy, Pennsylvania man, arrested for allegedly trying to get on a plane with explosives in a suitcase. I'll put a link to that. This guy here, apparently he's going on a rant about trafficking. Let me just see what he's see here. Something about trafficking women.
There's girls from that plane going to Club Deja Vu to dance that are being trafficked from around the world.
And he starts going crazy singing Eminem in the airport.
Hashtag taken.
Watch this.
I'm not afraid to take a stand. Everybody, come take my hand. This time we'll take together.
Put a link to it. Scientists now want to create AI using real human brain cells. Maybe they can have some from Lori Lightfoot. She claims she's losing the mayoral election because of racism and gender. Oh, E.T. phone home. Put a link to that. Democrat Maryland mayor resigns one day before being arrested on 56 child pornography charge. Well, it's like you must have knew that was coming, huh? I'll put a link to that. Dog bit my nose off. Now I have hair growing on my face. Apparently a dog bit this girl's nose off. Now there's like dog hair growing on her face. Ouch, put a link to that. I spent $8,000 to get the world's biggest lips. Now I'm having jabs to get the planet's most prominent cheekbones. What goes on in your head? That's what, she was very beautiful the way she looked. This is how she looks now. Check my favorites for all the news. Tom Sizemore passed away. We got shocking video. Moment of car crash into a building somewhere, and the whole building came down and crushed everybody. Tim Pool's got one. Tim Pool got one over there. Disgusting BDSM show. That's the drag. Oh, Tennessee is banning public drag shows, and CNN's all up. And it's a travesty against the LGBT. Climate change, gearing up. Definitely check my favorites. Thank you to everybody putting out content, keeping everybody informed. You guys are doing awesome. And shout outs this week, I got to give it to Woody Harrelson. Man, what he did on Saturday Night Live. Let me just play you this clip. I'm sure everybody's seen it already, but I want to just throw it into my video because you see what he's doing here. He's putting it in the form of a movie script, what really happened.
Okay, so the movie goes like this. The biggest drug cartels in the world get together and buy up all the media and all the politicians and force all the people in the world to stay locked in their homes, and people can only come out if they take the cartel's drugs and keep taking them over and over. I threw the script away. I mean, who is going to believe that crazy idea?
That's exactly what happened. And of course, the mainstream media is not going to tell you that, because who pays the bulk of the advertising dollar? In fact, they immediately went after. This is how I don't think what he did was staged. I think he did that, and now they're going to try to cancel him. Woody Harrelson doubles down, slams COVID measures. U.S. is not a free country. All of the mainstream media went after him. If you scroll on, look at this. He's a conspiracy theorist. You know, he's saying these things. He's saying exactly what happened, but it's bad for business. It reminds me of Bill Hicks, right? Shut that guy up. We got a lot invested in this, right? Anyway, so shout out to Woody for standing up. I definitely appreciate him. That's all I got for this week, guys. If you'd like to report, please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you think it sucked, it's the worst you never want to see again, please rate it. Helps me move around. You can also follow me on all my links below. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, BitChute, Rumble, all the links at the bottom. You can support this report on Patreon or directly with DonorBox. I put a lot of time and effort into this every week to bring you the news on a Sunday morning. How you guys doing? How's your week been going? What's the weather where you are? The weather in St. Louis is up and down and up and down. Looking forward to springtime, getting out. The grass is just starting to come up. I see the leaves and the vegetation starting to come alive out there. So we got that to look forward to. I don't know what's going on with what's going to go on with this new pandemic stuff, this bird flu, and of course World War III. That's all hanging on the edge of the cliff. I hope you guys are doing well, though. Thank you for hanging out with me for a few minutes on a Sunday while they give you the news. I love you very much. You guys have a good rest of the week and have a good week. Remain vigilant. I will see you on the next one.